The role of mentors at AMS is distinctly different than the type of work that I do as a therapist. However, it is really important in my mind that we provide this very unique type of training that includes trauma-informed mentorship for our mentors, making sure they're really aware of grief and loss issues related to adoption, and really honing and practicing their skills when it comes to being an active, empathetic listener.
My mother-in-law was adopted from child welfare. So when I met my husband, that was a part of our conversation. I struggled quite a bit with trying to understand why she dealt with so many different illnesses throughout her life. And as I started learning about the impact of trauma on a person's body and their health, it really made me start putting some connections together of understanding that maybe there was some type of impact of the multiple layers of loss that she experienced as an adoptee. That's the reason why I now study and do engage in research on adoption.
One of the great joys of my professional work is that I get to do research exploring how adoption has impacted adoptees. What happens to adoptees past childhood? Since so much of the research on adoption focuses on adopted children and adoptive parents. The Adoptee Consciousness Model is a framework that was developed by myself along with a number of my colleagues, all adoptees, and it was a way for us to expand the language that is really common among the adoptee community, this concept called coming out of the fog, which is when you realize that maybe what you knew or understood about adoption is something is different. You get information in some way that makes you really understand that adoption is more than perhaps your individual story. We really saw our experience as adoptees as being a series of different touch points that we experience, and all these different experiences that shape who we are inform our larger consciousness. Some identity models are very linear. They kind of say, like, you start out here and you progress through these different stages. We see ourselves as more of a spiral where you can find yourself in different places in the spiral, in the model, at different points in your life, or even simultaneously at the same time.
AMS has taken some steps to really dig in and understand what are the specific skills that a mentor needs to be able to engage in this powerful, meaningful, and also kind of complex relationship with a mentee. The person who is mentoring another has done some work internally to be able to really ground themselves and have some good awareness of how their presence can be a supportive presence in relationship to the mentee.
Something will bring adoptees to AMS. Adoptees might be in rupture. They've experienced some kind of adoption-related microaggression or discrimination, or maybe they connected with somebody from their first family or birth family, and it really changes everything that they thought they knew about their adoption experience. And so they're looking for validation, they're looking for a community.
Whatever their why is, or whatever that's bringing them to come and explore, having the tools, having a lot of training, having a lot of support means that our mentors will be able to respond appropriately and be able to let the mentee take the lead, so to speak, in this journey, and then just ride along with them and kind of as their co-pilot. All of the things that we learn about in that training applies to ourselves individually, personally as well. We have to make sure our own story and our own experiences don't somehow get entangled with the mentee. If things arise for ourselves around our own adoption story, we want to make sure that we provide our mentors with that kind of being in tune with themselves as part of the work to be able to really attune to their mentee.
It's really important to learn how to be engaged as a mentor without pushing your own agenda and your own thoughts about where you think somebody should be. So by using the consciousness model in the AMS training, it's helping all the mentors really be able to have tools to engage with and support the adoptees no matter where they are in their own experience.
I am excited to continue to dig deeper into understanding what are the skills that create a good mentoring experience, and actually doing analysis of the conversations that our mentors are having. What are they doing that is really engaging? What's happening in those moments?
Being data informed is really important. A lot of mentoring programs just rely on anecdotes. AMS really uses evaluation and feedback in a lovely way to help make sure that they actually are responding to what adoptees are needing.
I'm so grateful to be able to continue to support the growth of AMS and be able to expand this opportunity to connect to all adoptees. It's just the beginning.